UiPath experts. So today we will see the next video of the UiPath Action Center with the budget approval process. So this involves the human in loop. So basically the human and the robot both are working together and complete the budget approval or rejection process. So today what we will see, so we'll just create one diagram for that. So let's go to the app.diagrams.net. So within that, so just you just create a new diagram. So you can create a new diagram with the blank or the flow chart. I'm just taking the flow chart because it involves the multiple conditions. So let's locate so where you want to create the budget approval diagram. So here I'm just creating the budget approval diagram, budget flow. So once you create the budget flow, so it is giving us a small sample flowchart diagram. So let's plan. So the diagrams, first of all, what the robot has to do, robot has to read the information from here, the input folders, right? The input folders. So the first step is like, so the robot has to read each and every file. So the today's file. So it is like the bot will schedule every day at particular times. Okay, so read today's request file, that is Excel file, XLSX file from input folder. Okay. So first of all, the robot has to read the today's file. Okay, so today's file from the input folder. Once it is read the file, so what is the next step it has to do? It has to go for each and every line, okay. So take a single request point. For example, if you just read this one, this is a Excel today's file. Actually this is a not today's file. So you just imagine you have a multiple files. Within that you have to take a today's file. Okay, suppose for example here is today is a third 001 03 02. Okay, so today is a March. So if you just see here, so the file comes with a month and year. So what the robot has to do, robot has to pick the year from that Excel sheet. So pick that from Excel sheet, just go to here and drag another thing like a pick year from Excel sheet. This one, okay, extract year from sheet name. So once you take a new Excel, so today's Excel, extract the year. So whether it is a 2021 or 22 like that, it has to pick from the sheet name. So once it is read the year from the sheet name, so because that sheet name, it is not a sheet one, so it is not mentioned anywhere. So this is a sheet name is a year. So you have to pick the sheet name for further use. Next one is like, so what you have to do, you have to take and the thing like so loop each and every loop each file, or take take single request. What do you mean by single request? A single request is this one. So every line is a one request, budget request, which is raised by some proposers or leaders. Okay, so this is the first single record. After that, so it will take the another records, because take a new single record or take new request from the list from data table or Excel. Okay, so once you pick the single record from that request, so what is the next steps? You have to check whether this there is a check. You have to check whether this is a proposer ID is available from the list or not. So see here, take this proposer code is available. Proposal code, valid proposal code. So check is valid proposal code. Basically that is a condition. So how can you check so whether it is a valid proposal code or not? So this is based on the items basically. So suppose for example you have a database, some predefined Excel sheet which contains all the proposal codes, which is the active proposal codes. If you just see the database Excel, so this is a budget.xlsx. This budget.xlsx contains, there is the two sheets. One sheet is the leaders. I think it is already opened. See here, leaders. So you have to check whether the proposer code is matches with the leader code, and that too it is should be a status is an active user. That is the first thing. Suppose for example, if it is not, what will happen? If it is not, what will happen? What you have to do? You have to close. You have to reject. Okay, so if it is not, what you have to do? First thing is, if it is not, what you have to do, that is the one which reject or send to human. So human validation, because so human knows so why it is not valid, so and also send with the proper message to the human. So basically, so human will decide whether we have to approve or not, even though the valid it's not valid user. Okay, maybe that is a user is a new user, right? So not valid, not valid user. Okay, so it's okay, and send to human for validation, for validation. So this is like a human in loop. Okay. Action center. So this is like a basically UiPath action center. You are just creating a new request or new task, a new action, a new request in the action center. That is basically you are doing. Okay. So if that is not happen, then what is the next thing? So if it is a S, what do you mean by S? S means if this is approved, what is the next thing you have to check? So is valid state instead of that. So okay, so is budget within the state limits. State budget limits. So within the yearly state budget limits. Okay, so you have another sheet called state sheet. So where you can get where you can find so what all the things like a each state wise, right? And okay, so you can see here connected here. So if it is S, what we have to do? So we have to check so whether it is so within the budget or not. Okay, so let us see. So just break these things now so that okay, so is the budget within the yearly state budget limit or not? So there is another Excel in the database, that is a state limits. So what is the state limits? The state has a state code. So what the robot has to do? Robot has to take that state code from that particular taken request, a single request, and checks whether the state, that particular state has a limit for that particular year or not. So you have to check the year also. Year column is also there. So okay, this has a different type of things. So it's 2021, 2022, like that. So everything the robot has to check whether this is within the limits or not. If it is not within the limits, what it has to do again? So it has to send to the human in loop. So if this is a basically a yes, no, if it is not within the limit, this is a yes, so it is within the limits. Got it? So if it is not within the limits, then it is sending to the requester. Okay, so basically the human will involve, and he will decide whether we have to approve this budget or not. So if it is a budget, whether it is basically the top level approver, the human is approve or not. Okay, so if it is approved, so then what we have to do? So update budget in master state limit master sheet, and then what is the next thing it has to do? It has to prepare once it is done, so it has to prepare budget approval process. Okay, so prepare or create folder in approval master folder. Got it? So it will create a folder, not only the folder, and file in the approval folder. Okay, so if it is a budget is a, so again update the budget. So if it is not in the budget, then what is a human in loop. So if it is within the budget, update the budget in the state master and create a folder for the update. So what the human will do, so this is actually happening the process. So what this will basically connects to this take a new signal, because this will directly go for each and every record in the sheet. So each and every record in the sheet. So okay, once it is done for the first record, so what it is doing is it will go for the next record for the again the next record. What it will do, it will again check whether the proposer code is available or not, if it is active or not. If it is not active, then it will send to the human. If it is active, then it will check for the state code and state budget in the masters. Okay, if the state budget is whatever the budget they requested is less than the state budget for that particular year, then definitely it will just remove less the actual budget in the master and prepare the proper process for the folder. Okay, so it will create a new folder and file for that. So okay, that is a budget. Okay, and then this is the overall sheet. So let's read that. So read the today's file, and so it is extracted the today's year. Why we need the year? So to check, so yearly budgets, which year you are checking. So there is a different years are there. Okay, for each and every state. So which year you have to check. So that is a diagram. So in the next video we will see. So this is it will create a new action in the loop. So once it is an action in the loop, it will wait for that. Basically, it will resume and wait for the action done by the user. Once the user is reacted, then it will just create a update the budget approval or create a new process. If they updated, suppose for example, if they updated, if they approve, then it will create a approval process. If it is not approved, what it will do, so it will simply create a rejected folder. Okay, so if it is approved, so this will come as again there is a two kind of inputs. One is approved. They may approve or they may reject, right? So they may approve or they may reject. So this one is approved. Suppose for example here is approved. Yes, approved or approved. Okay, and okay, so this one is different actually. Okay, create a folder and file and in rejected folder and master folder, and what it will do, so it will just update the reason for rejection. Okay, so this will happen if basically if it's not approved by the human. This is a no, so okay, here just approved. So approved, it will go here, and if it's rejected, then it will go here. So approved is a text here. We will just here we will who will approve. This is approved and this is a rejected. Okay. Who will reject? So the human will reject from the UiPath Action Center. So then it will go for the create a new folder in the action rejected folder, and if it's approved, it will go to the approved folder. So basically, this flow is done by the robot will do some things, some records. So if anything is not properly valid, then the human judgment is very required. So human may decide whether, even though the code is not matched, so a newcomer came, new leader came, so they can approve and they can just give some description, so why they are approving, why they are rejecting. Okay, so this is a flow diagram, so we just prepare, and you just also prepare the flow diagrams, and then what we can do, we can go further in the next video and prepare actual workflow for that. So, okay, so if you want to go a step-by-step video, just please join as a member. Okay, Sky member, not a normal member. There is a Sky membership is there. Okay, join as a Sky membership. So, and or you can just try by yourself. I'm just suggesting you just try by yourself with the just dummy data with the Excels. Okay, so thank you very much for watching my video. Please subscribe if you not yet subscribe. Okay, so my channel. Thank you very much.